the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond. Sir,
Give it a second.
you hear that? What is that?
Keep going.
I think I've heard this before.
Woo, sir. How we doing? How we doing? Can you hear that music? Manchester United are back in the top four, back in the Champions League, playing under those angelic voices next season. Tuesday, Wednesday nights are back on the menu, boys and girls. No more Thursday night football. No more Hans and Franz. There's always a chance in Champions League if you finish third, I believe. I remember last season or the season before. But either way, Manchester United get a big, big win at home against the Chelsea Blues. Can't fight the music. Here we go. The upgrade in the music alone from Champions League to Europa League is just so stark that it's unbelievable. What a song of songs. United 4-1 against, I want to call them bitter rivals, Chelsea Blues, one of my favorite teams to beat, especially at home. United, open game in the first half. To be honest, Chelsea had some chances. They floundered them. United had a lot of chances, took one at the beginning of the first half, one at the end of the second half, and then in the absolute rest of the second half, we just rolled, destroyed Chelsea 4-1. They got a goal at the end, and United headed back to the Champions League. Rashford hits 30.
This great music is on. You got a lot to say.
I got a lot to say. I always got a lot to say.
Yeah, let's just listen. Let's
You're going to get used to it next year. You're going to hear a lot of this.
Sir, play it again. Chills. Dare I say half a tear. We're back, baby. It's just an amazing song. You know, it's something where you don't know what you got till it's gone. And that playing on Wednesday nights, playing the elite European talent is what this club deserves. And man, we've been in the mud. Even in the mud with that Europa League theme. Scouse Bastards, shout out to them. They can celebrate about that big win all they want. They're playing Europa League Thursday nights, Uzbekistan. Enjoy that one. Man, what a relief. It feels like the cold waters of the ocean rushing over you. Sir, the stress, the anxiety, we almost bottled it, but man, we held on with, like you said, big result at home. Chelsea Blues having a laugh. That team is in shambles. We've had our struggles. You look at our front three. We scored the goals, but man, they aren't looking too good. If we had some proper attackers up there, maybe a more mature Garnacho, Rashford, and insert great winger here, we could be really doing some damage in Europe next year. But man, just a relief for United to qualify. Game left. We can go third place, win the FA Cup. Let's go. Eric Ten Hag, shout out to him. It's a results-based business. Big result for Manchester United.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. We started poorly this season. We got off to a flyer by January, February after the World Cup, and then the wheels started to fall off with the amount of games that have piled up, the thin squad. United, I thought we were going to stumble to the end, but we're getting a little bit of momentum. I feel like yesterday, this guy bringing an OD.
So we got to celebrate,
baby.
Let's go. We're back.
You can't celebrate too hard. Don't let the rivals hear us. You're playing this, like, turn it down at least. As I was saying, United got a result, scored some goals, and we're finishing strong, it seems like. Casemiro back to his best. He was unbelievable yesterday in the game. Rashford looking sharp again. Martial got a goal. His touch let him down quite a bit. Anthony gets an injury. That's unfortunate. But I thought Sancho looked terrific on the right wing, especially in the second half, as legs were getting tired on the blue side of the pitch. And then Garnacho came in, looked terrific. Bruno, always terrific. Even Lindelof having a nice day at the office. De Gea as well, making some good saves. And United getting it done before game 38. You'd love to see that. Now it's about locking up third. I think that's important for United to show the progress under this manager. Even fourth will feel like progress, but third, I think, just feels like we are. I feel like we're the third best team in England at the moment, and I'd love to finish third, especially after how much those tunes, they're loving life and they're acting like they ain't got no Saudi owners. But let's make sure we remind them early and often, sir. Early and often.
It's all about setting the tone as a Manchester United player, a Manchester United manager, and that's foot on the throat, boot on the throat. I'll tell you, Casemiro didn't want to go back to Europa League. No. He was setting the tone. Scoring at Bournemouth, scoring at Chelsea. I ain't going back. I ain't going back to Uzbekistan, baby. There's only one way this club's going, that's up, and Erik ten Hag dragging us over the line. Casemiro, what a signing. It has to be the signing of the summer. I was wary of it coming in. You have an older player, big money deal. Can he do it? Does he have the fire? And look at what he's done in the last two matches. He's been the difference maker. That's £100 million. It's going to boost our transfer kitty. And to do it against Chelsea, 4-1, putting the boot on the throat of the Chelsea scum. You love to see it. Sad to see Pulisic come on. I even forgot he even played in an EPL at this point, if you're a U.S. men's national team fan. But, sir, quick PSA for the podcast.
Who? Pulley? All he did was
that was sad to see him come on. He looked out of shape.
He fouled your boy, bro. He elbowed Day in the neck, and then got
he's in a tough situation with all these managers coming in and out.
He'll do great at West Ham.
Look, Fat Frank, not disappointing, honestly, and that Chelsea team, I couldn't believe they're that bad. You have to say United played well, but they were bad. They were really bad.
They should have scored a couple goals.
And Tony Martial, if you don't pass it to him at least 1 yard out from the goal, ain't going to score. So at the end of the day, the director of football, they got to be, this is Manchester United. Look, this is a great result. Huge win for the team. We're into the Champions League. We shouldn't be. We all predicted that we wouldn't make it. Now we're in. Yes, based on at the beginning of the season, you look at the roster moves we made and the manager wasn't enough, honestly.
No,
so the manager made, I would argue that you get rid of Ronaldo, you bring in a Wout. You don't do too much with, we need to get rid of 10 players, open heart surgery. We didn't do that. Erik ten Hag, one arm behind his back, is able to drag these boys over the line. But there's a lot of work to do on this squad. We got to be honest. This team can't really... we don't have the depth to compete. You look at Shitty. I don't expect to have their roster next season, but you have to be realistic of where we are and where we need to be, and the work that's required to get there. And most likely, with the summer sale and the Glazers at the helm, you're going to get day late dollar short, and it's not going to do it for next season. So we have to be humble here. Back the lads, back the manager. But sir, quick PSA for the podcast. We can just listen to the Champions League theme all day long on this podcast and shoot the breeze. But we got to break down some matches, and we still have a game left to play. And if you want to support the American Red Devils, please check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/American Red Devils. We don't have any sponsors on the pod. We're 100% fan-supported. We want you guys to support us directly instead of having ads and sponsors on the pod. So please check out our Patreon page. Tons of benefits. Patreon's not your thing. Check out our store, AmericanRedDevils.com. .store. Buy a shirt, buy a scarf, buy some pin stickers, have a blast. Everything you do and purchase supports this small-time operation. You can also like us on social media, subscribe, and write reviews about the pod. I hear that helps. I don't know, sir. You want to tell them about it?
Reviews, 5-star reviews, the American Red Devils podcast, wherever you listen. It's a great way to support the pod. Helps us get found organically by other top Muppets like yourself. And even better, We're giving away free giveaways to the end of the time. All you have to do is write that 5-star review, ideally on Spotify or iTunes, and send a screenshot to AmericaRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD gear sent right to your door anywhere in the world. Here's a great 5-star review from Seabad23. Real talk about the Reds. Excellent podcast that is not afraid to criticize talent. Great performance by Martial and Garnacho. Appreciate you, Seabad. Appreciate all the American Red Devil fans out there writing 5-star reviews. It wasn't quite the 5-star Reds against Chelsea Blues, but we did score some goals. You know, I don't remember the last time we scored 4 goals, especially against the Chelsea side. I do remember that. That was, I think,
opening
day, first
day,
game,
pre-COVID, you and me, San Francisco.
a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
Good times, different world. But United
That was Dan James.
did a
scoring
lot.
there
Did
during
a
that
lot
game.
well today. Did a lot well today. You got to shout out Casemiro, looking his vintage self. I thought Wan-Bissaka was terrific. I thought Sancho grew into the game. Shaw was great in the first half before he got injured. That's one to watch because he's going to be very important for the FA Cup final if we want to have a shot, shut down that City side. But let's get this game, sir. Manchester United 4, Chelsea 1, Old Trafford, EPL. Take me through that lineup.
We had Dave saves world number 1 in net. Luke Shaw, Lindelof, Varane, Wan-Bissaka back line, Bruno, Casemiro, Eriksson midfield, Sancho on the left, Martial up top, and Antony on the right. How are you feeling about that lineup? I will say Rashford is on the bench. Probably the most important part of the lineup is Rashford on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, that was the only surprise. I was hoping to see him get a start, especially like with only a couple games left. You want to get that fitness up so he can start at Wembley in now 8 days' time, but not a huge amount of surprises for like everybody other than the front 3. Obviously, Garnacho, he's not ready to start, but this is the 11. This is what you expect. What about you? What did you think when you saw it?
Rashford's got to be in there. Look, that front tack's got no teeth. Sancho out of shape. Martial, washed up, and Antony, what is he doing? Pretty much nothing when he gets the ball out on the right wing. I hate to see it. I don't want to see it. You give him a year. We'll see how he comes. I hope he comes back super yoked up next year. But, man, it's been really tough watching Manchester United go forward. Bruno, Eriksson, Casemiro. Casemiro has his mojo back after Bournemouth. So I was excited. The back line is great for now. I mean, Lindelof stepping up into the number 3 role, which is where he should be. So I was give it a go. I was just worried about scoring, but 4th minute we were open. Chelsea big chance, but the Ukrainian Obertan with a woeful effort. I was kind of worried here because we were caught out a little bit, but we didn't have to wait too long because our Brazilian Magnifico, 6th minute, he ain't messing around. He ain't going back to Europe.
On it. Perfect start for Manchester United. Casemiro, a man who's developing a happy knack of scoring crucial goals, does it again. They only need a point, but 6 minutes in, they have the lead.
Great delivery. And he's good at this, Casemiro. I think when he arrived at Manchester United, I don't think too many of us always felt he was going to get in the box and maybe put his head on a few. He's done this well. He looks there like he's good. There might be 1 or 2 other red shirts who might have been fractionally offside, but I think he's okay, and it's a clever header. Kepa rooted to the spot. And again, it's too easy from a Chelsea point of view. Wesley Fofana it is, who's behind Casemiro, jumping, trying to make
some
something.
bad
but
defending
knows
really
he
here
can't
from
possibly
Chelsea.
get it.
You got Kepa in net, have a laugh. Doing it at home too, just like home crowd, nice day in Manchester. Casemiro stepping up. Casemiro, who I think is the real leader of this team, probably should be the captain of Manchester United. Setting the tone, getting us over the line. You can see the attitude, the leadership. What a player. I mean, he doesn't have to wear the armband to be a leader, but, just transforming this team.
Well, it's nice to have multiple leaders in the team. And, for me, it's going to be Bruno as number 1. But Casemiro, we missed him when he had those double suspensions, right? Almost back-to-back. He missed like 8 games in a short period of time. Bit of a dip in form, coming back into the fold. And now I think he is back at his best. tying together the midfield, creating chances, breaking up play, and also scoring goals, which is important for this side, which has had a difficult time finding goals, right? We're talking about a chance. Anthony did do well on that feeder to Martial right after the goal. We did score.
A little behind him, but
He should have scored. Martial just made it look bad.
Martial should have scored. It was a tough angle.
Should have scored a lot.
Look,
Casemiro with an important goal. Love scoring against Chelsea, and most importantly, an early goal. This was end-to-end stuff, especially in the first half. They'd have a big chance. We'd have a big chance. Back and forth. But getting the goal, that's what you need early.
Yeah, but Martial off the mark in the 19th minute. Anthony does play a ball in him. Look, it was a little behind him. It was a little late. It was on his left boot. It was a good ball. Martial needed it. You can, if you watch it again, it's like he was trying to get out from under his feet. He got to shoot there. That was on Martial, but just the attack isn't flowing, and it's not like, Anthony is beating his man and putting in great balls all day here. He does go down, unfortunately, and gets subbed out here in the 29th minute, but you're telling me Anthony goes down, Rashford comes in. Hashtag upgrade. Hate to say it, but, it wasn't – this changed the game. I mean, Rashford comes on, and then we just start, scoring like crazy. There's a reason why he's hit his 30th goal for the year. Nothing against Anthony, but for me, it's all about next season for him coming in. You have to be honest. You pay 80-something million. Manager says get him no matter what. He didn't really do it for United, including in this game.
Well, he faded this season, right? He started the season quite well, scored 3 straight games. But you know what? You look at the Murdoch. That guy's the shitty.
I mean, somebody say figured out.
He's a $100 million
Figured out
player.
that he
All
only
I'm
has
saying
one
is
trick.
$80 million is not what it used to be, because that guy is one of the worst football players I've ever seen. Like Enzo, yeah, he's a player. There's definitely some players in the Chelsea squad, but like they spent more on that Ukrainian kid, and he should have had 2 goals, and he's one of the worst football players I've ever seen on Chelsea. So
yeah, but saying that our player,
I know, but all you do is talk about how much Anthony costs. He can't control his price tag. We overpaid for him. That's a front office issue. It's not his issue. And I think he'll come into a useful player. Not great, but like a useful player that will score goals for you. But it looks a bad injury. It looks like he will miss. It looked an innocuous one, right? Like rolled over it. He reacted in a way that you could tell something was wrong. Didn't look like a bruise and tackle, but he will likely miss the FA Cup final.
No, you hate to see any. Yeah, sir. It's early in the morning. Dying here. Anthony's cursed my voice. He knows I'm going hard at him.
This guy Carabao.
Give me a Carabao Cup. Look, from me, sad to see him go down, but you got to say that he's had a lot of minutes, like a lot of games. I think 24 EPL starts, 4 goals. He has, and towards the end, has done, like you can literally show you the highlights of him getting the ball out on the right wing. It's more about him getting the ball in these very dangerous spots with tons of space and just not being able to put it together in the attack. And look, if you're going to play against City, he's going to need to be a part of it. I hope he does well. But for me, it's all about next year for Anthony. You got to give him his shots. I hope he listens. He could put this as bulletin board material, but it could be worse. You could be Kai Havertz here, 32nd minute, huge header, blast it wide. Saying that we're doing great compared to Chelsea. I think that's an easy argument as far as the transfer business as of late. 34th minute, Bruno hacked down from behind, no pen. I don't know about hacked down. He got touched by like a butterfly. He went down like he, like he got shot.
Not everybody, bro. Are you a Manchester United fan? Whose team
no,
are you on?
I'm just saying, like Bruno is like he dives a bit, sir. It's it's not
also
United
gets the shit
DNA.
out of him.
It's not United
Keep
DNA.
going.
You like the diving?
It wasn't a dive. You got fouled, so I'm not calling it a dive.
Okay. All right,
we got like a big anti-Bruno guy, big pump up De Gea, even when he plays like shit guy. He played well today.
Speaking of playing like shit, this guy scored a goal here.
Here we go.
50th minute.
Enzo knocks it away from him. Oh, he comes through for Sancho. 2-0. Anthony Martial there to tap it in. And United have had to withstand some torrid phases of play, but they double their advantage before half-time, and they know that they will be a top 4 team again this season.
It's just with a Jadon Sancho.
Manchester United, sir, getting a goal at the end of the half. Chelsea had some opportunities in this first half. United were a little open, but their finishing is even more woeful than our finishing. What a ball. No-look ball from Casemiro to Sancho. Sancho had, in my mind, a really great game. I think one of his better games for Manchester United. And Anthony Martial did not have a great. He got a goal, but like he had so many poor touches on good chances. He should have had a hat trick in this game comfortably. And the only thing he could score is tap-ins. Did get his goal. Can't complain too much, but he is a player that we need to move on from, unfortunately. Like I think Erik ten Hag knows he's not an answer. He's not a solution between fitness, lack of form, lack of finishing, and probably lack of hunger. We need a couple new strikers next year. But good on him getting a goal, but he ain't the answer.
No, but look, watching the game, United came on strong first 20 minutes. Then Chelsea were in for the next, I'm going to say from the 25th to, I think since the Kai Havertz chance, they were having a go.
They were.
Chelsea were coming. We were holding the line a little bit. And then to get this goal right before half, that's the backbreaker. This is the guaranteed top 4 goal. And who starts it? I mean, like, think about this. Bournemouth away, who has this amazing run, great ball from Eriksen, amazing run, touch, and a goal. Dunk header, and then this no-look pass to Jadon Sancho, which just opens the Chelsea defense. This Casemiro setting the tone. I mean, he's back, and you know why he's back? Because it's big games. And Manchester United need big players to play well in big games. We said it before this game. Who's going to step up? He's the difference. Casemiro's the difference. What a signing. We won Frankie de Jong, the Frankie de Jong saga. LOL, it leads us to Casemiro, an amazing midfielder. Good to be a United legend at this rate. And the no-look pass. I mean, get out of here with this. Just watch the replay. I made my son watch this. He's 3.5. He doesn't even understand. I'm like, this is the most amazing pass. The looking the other way, just the flick to Jadon Sancho to just unlock Chelsea's defense, a poor defense. And what a pass into Tony Martial to score this one. But it's all Casemiro here. Just absolute dog mentality and stepping up for United in big moments.
He's a hell of a player. Had a dip like we talked about, but he's back to his best. We need it. If we're going to get a result at Wembley, he's going to have a big part to play. So great contribution. Nice ball pick out from Sancho. And Martial gets a big, important goal at the end of the half, which kind of cements the momentum heading into halftime. What are you saying if you're Ten Hag to the boys in the dressing room?
I'd be playing the Champions League theme. 47th minute, United come out. Bruno slams the ball against the bar. Has to score here. Has to score. The net, he has so much to shoot at. I feel like this has happened many times for Bruno. It's unfortunate because it's like he's always going roof 100 miles an hour, when if he just looked at the net, calmed it down, he could slot it anywhere he wants. He has hit the bar so many times for United, but I feel like if we had a Bruno that was finishing and scoring, we wouldn't even be in this nervy top 4 battle because he's had so many opportunities. I think he just needs to calm it down a little bit. He's always putting his laces through it, top corner, and hitting the bar somehow.
He's done this now a couple times this season, just too much oomph on it. Needed a little bit of control and finesse, but they did great in this opportunity, right? Lindelof breaks up play high up the pitch, wins it back. Bruno 1-2 with Rashi, and Bruno just take it easy, calmly done.
He had so much to shoot at here.
Yeah, he should have scored. Should have scored. Trust me, he looked the most pissed of anyone on the field, but he would get opportunities later on. But United, we were rampant, especially at the beginning of this second half. We should have scored a couple goals.
52nd minute, put on the pressure. And this is the difference between the first half where Chelsea was coming on. They're done here. Kepa clears off the line. Malacia low cross. Eriksen with a shot. I mean, just scrambled eggs. Chelsea just holding on. We're pushing for the third. This is the United we want to see. Chelsea capitulating. Us going for the jugular. Looking for the third. 59th, De Gea with a nice save. United exposed on the break because we're just going for that next goal. And that's what United should be doing at home in a big game. 71st, double sub, Fred and Garnacho for Martial and Eriksen.
Like these
subs from Erik ten Hag. No Wout Weghorst, and we're playing great. Who would have thought? And then obviously you had in the 73rd minute, Bruno would get his penalty, nutmegged Fofana. Then he gets fouled proper, goes down. Bruno to the spot here, calmly done.
His last 5, Bruno Fernandes. What will he do here? A full fish for number 3. for United a decent finish in the top four. They're back in the Champions League at Europe's top table. Job done.
Very good penalty. Did really well actually to win the penalty for his team, and picks himself up off the floor and just rolls it in. And that's,
I mean, feels like we're watching
matches if it
Manchester
wasn't
United.
already done.
Bruno,
Definitely
ice cold pen, just strolling for a nice walk in the park here. This is what you want to see. Bruno scoring for Manchester United and our captain getting the goal.
We've gotten very few penalties this season, but a nice penalty earned and finished from Bruno Fernandes. He was terrific today, and an important game, getting goals. God damn, where would this team be with a number 9? We would have scored 7-8 goals in this game alone. Another 25 goals probably in the season. But you know who's been scoring goals? You know who's in red-hot form now? Coming back to his best is Marcus Rashford. MBE with number 30 for the season, sir. 78th minute.
This is given away here. It's Rashford's moment. Taps it in. There is his 30th goal of the season. It's an absolute gift. Manchester United 4, Chelsea 0. A scoreline that speaks volumes of Chelsea's season. And the manner in which it's been conceded epitomises so much of what's gone wrong.
I mean, what a goal for Marcus. Chelsea just talk about some woeful defending. I feel like we saw this at Manchester United last season, but he just steps around Fofana. What a touch. Goes in 1v1 against Kepa, megs him. Kepa gets a touch, and then he just finishes it on the line. Marcus Rashford. If we're going to win the FA Cup final, it's going to be on that man, and we're going to need him healthy. He is healthy coming back from an illness, so it's great to see. United 4 at home against Chelsea. Garnacho should have scored, made it 5, hits the bar. He looked like rapid. He's got to start against City in the FA Cup final. He'll probably start against Fulham here. You got to see how he does with a full 90 against Fulham and then hopefully bring him in because he's the best player on the... I mean, like, Sancho does a job, but just...
Sancho looked good on the right. You know, we did sign him originally for the right wing. He looked really nice on the right wing, especially as players were fading. We've talked about his fitness this season.
I still think Garnacho looks better.
I would say you start Marcus Rashford up front, best number 9 we have by a mile. Garnacho on the left, Sancho on the right. That's the best front three you have at the moment.
I think so. I think that I completely
I'm not saying
agree.
we'll see
I
that,
completely
but
agree.
that is the 3 I would start.
85th, McSauce for Bruno. McSauce knows a thing or two about beating shitty. And then 89th minute, João Felix would get a goal. Nice run through the middle of the park, but we kind of gave up at this point.
Midfield for João Felix. Pulisic needed the ball to be played earlier. Felix goes alone. Oh, it's a brilliant
João.
goal. It is only a consolation for Chelsea, but it is a fine strike and an illustration of exactly what he has in his game.
Great goal. Yep. Just when he come on, I mentioned that.
You hate to see it. We had the clean sheet in our hands, but João running from the halfway line all the way down, and a good finish. Good finish from the youngster. Maybe you'd like to see that kid at United. We were linked to him in January. Didn't want to pay over the odds to get him.
Could have used him.
Went with Wout.
Could have used him.
But
he probably would have scored more than 2 goals in 20 games.
You'd like to get a guy who has a finish like that in him at United. I just think the United energy with someone like that who could score would be a little different. 93rd minute, McTominay tests Kepa with a nice shot. But look, that's it. Manchester United 4-1. Champions League music reigns supreme. We're back, top 4. Come on. I mean, it's just for United to be back in European competition proper. It's just everything you want. It's just relief all around. We thought we had it. We were happy about it. Then we started fading fast. We're back again. Let's go. What a strong finish. No one's going to remember that little nervy period there. Towards the end of the season. No one's going to remember that Southampton draw. No one's going to remember getting battered at Newcastle. We finished 3rd. No excuses, play like a champion. We're getting closer. Stat sheet, United 18 goals, 18 shots at Chelsea's 14, 9 on target to their 5. We had 41% of the ball to their 59. So a little cheeky possession game there from Erik ten Hag, but it worked out well. And Erik ten Hag is just the 5th Manchester United manager to finish in the top 4 of the top flight in his first season in charge of the Red Devils. The 4 other managers to do it, John Bentley, Matt Busby, Ron Atkinson, and Louis van Gaal's Red Army. And Marcus Rashford is the first United player to score 30 goals in the season since Robin van Persie, and the first to net 20 at Old Trafford since Wayne Rooney in 2009-10.
I love it.
That is some amazing company to be in. Although those goals, a lot of his goals kind of came in a very condensed period. That's the one thing I'm going to say about Marcus is I hope he continues against Fulham and then against City, because he goes super red hot, Marcus, and he did have a significant lull before he obviously netted again. Bruno Fernandes has scored or assisted 25 goals in all competitions for Manchester United this season. Only Marcus Rashford, 38, has more. And Manchester United won't have won 40 games in all competitions in a season for only the 5th time ever. That is just because we play so many games.
Well, you have to win games to play games, so it's not just because you play games. You have to advance in the cup in order to win 40 games. So he deserves credit. He's had a terrific first season as manager, given all the shit he had to deal with, the late signings, the Paella brothers floundering in Barcelona, the Ronaldo saga, like the biggest downgrade ever from Ronaldo to Wout. He's done a terrific job. 40 games ain't easy, bro. We haven't done that in a long time.
No, it's but what do we measure at Manchester United? We measure trophies, and the fact that he won a trophy and he's delivering results into the Champions League next season is literally just destroying expectations. I mean, like, as far as Ten Hag, 40 games, etc. I just think that there is a factor where there are more games generally. There are more competitions, so more teams are going to be playing more. That's just the trend. But at the same time, like, when we get into our season review, which it won't be now, right? So we'll do the season review post FA Cup final. We always do a full recap of the season. Erik ten Hag is going to get all the accolades. I mean, to come in and deal, like, what's on his resume is just stupid. It's like he came in early. We went to the Crystal Palace game, saw him in the stands. It was the worst situation you've ever seen. Ralph Rangnick, open heart surgery, inherits the maniac Ronaldo, him, Dalot, Bruno leaving preseason games early, making them run post Brentford, ditching Ronaldo, getting Wout, doing everything he's done to get this team on track, get the serious tone back at Old Trafford, the discipline back at Old Trafford. It's just phenomenal, and that's why the Manchester United badge is back where it belongs, in the top 3 here. And for me, finishing 3rd is huge. I really do think finishing 3rd versus finishing 4th matters to me. It is irrational, but I think the idea that we do not capitulate to Newcastle and we hold the line, I think, is critical. Given we have Fulham, it's at home. I think it's everything to play for there. Little look at the table. City champions, 37 played, 89 points. Obviously, 100-plus FFP violations. They're cheaters, so got to take that with a grain of salt. 37 matches for the Arsenal.
It's
81
all
points.
in our hands. It's awesome.
We got bigger fish to
fry. The Arsenal meltdown is one for the ages. One for the ages. Arteta. Sad Arteta is the best thing in the world.
37 matches played for United, 72 points. 37 played for Newcastle, 70 points. 37 played for the Scouse Bastards, 66 points. And also making sure that we dunk on the Scouse Bastards and make Jurgen Klopp grind his teeth in Uzbekistan away. Listen to that theme music, Hans and Franz. No insult there, but man, it just feels good. You can just relax. You can kick back in your Adirondack chair, enjoy the summer, and just listen to all the nonsense news coming out about the sale and the transfers and everything in between. But you know you're going to be sitting pretty because we're playing on Wednesdays, and you're listening to that proper music because that's all that matters. And you can sleep easy. All the Red Devils can sleep easy because Erik ten Hag is the real deal. And he's setting the tone. And it feels like it's been 9 seasons, honestly. He's been our manager for 9 seasons. It felt like he had hair when he started managing Manchester United because it's been that much of a season all crammed into one.
It's been a hell of a season.
He gets an amazing grade. I think I just felt every other manager is a little bit of a bluffer. He ain't bluffing. Regardless of what's going on, you could disagree. We'll give him a report card. There's things he can work on. Obviously, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. But, man, you feel good knowing he's the madman just cooking something up this summer, and he's going to be setting the tone early for the Red Devils. And let's hear what he had to say about the Chelsea match here.
Now that Champions League is secured, could you say this is unequivocally a successful first season for you, Richard?
Yes, I think so. It's a successful season, but the season is not finished.
More than you could have hoped for?
I have always high expectations of myself. So I think this club belongs in the Champions League. So you have to qualify under the first four. But this league is very strong. And there are many teams, many clubs who are competing for the position, and they all can do it. And because they have high budgets, good squads, and see Chelsea, and they have massive good squad with outstanding players. And so we are happy. We are under the first four. I think we played a good season in the Premier League. I would say a very good season.
Harry, Arsene Wenger used to call finishing in the top four the equivalent of winning a trophy. Do you see it like that?
That's what?
Arsene Wenger used to say that finishing in the top four was the equivalent of winning a trophy. Do you see it?
Oh yeah, I think in the Premier League, it's something like that. That is, I think it's the main objective of the season to get in the Champions League, and so but therefore you have to see yourself under the top four. And as I just tried to respond, it's the competition is tough. It's many teams with really good squads, good managers. So when you are in there, you're doing a good job, and your team is playing well and performing well. And I think this is, for this moment, the maximum, but we want more.
So now that you've said that you're third, you could finish in the top three, never mind the top four, the expectations will be raised next season. Do you see potential in your squad to be challenging for the title next season? Or is it too early?
When it's difficult to say in this moment, you have to see how you come out of the transfer window. But if I see now, I think
I can't. Sorry, not great answer. Look, this is not a.
You're like, what's wrong with you?
It's not a great
bro?
answer.
What are you talking about?
It's not like
he said he should be proud.
Can you
of,
contend for the title? Yes.
Are you
Is top
kidding
four
me?
a trophy?
Are you
No.
high? Like we can't contend for the title if we have the Glazers hanging around.
No, it's about
this summer transfer when we have so much business to do.
It's like what did Fergie say?
Sir,
He's
there's
like,
nothing wrong
we're
with
trying to win the title every
You're
time.
cranky. You're a cranky guy for a guy who just got top four.
No,
got
it's
top
like
three.
It's about
He's playing it straight.
okay.
Dude.
The Manchester United. We don't celebrate top four. We celebrate league.
Yes, we do celebrate top four. You play the Champions League music twice on the intro in. Of course you're
That's not
celebrating.
celebrating.
Yes, it is celebrating.
No, it's enjoying a theme song.
No,
It's
that's
different.
celebrating.
It's different.
That's celebrating.
No, it's
yes,
like
it is. Yes, it is.
it's enjoying.
Celebrating. I'm calling you out.
I don't have any.
Oh, we don't celebrate. Yes, we do. We're celebrating on this pod.
There's no confetti. There's no like birthday hats.
Does he wear
There's
no birthday hat? He
There's
looks
no
mean mugging
kazoos.
as ever. Eric Ten Hag.
No, it's just the
my
manager.
boy.
Sir, if I was, I've
You got a lot of
I've
credit.
watched
You got a lot of criticism
of.
for a lot of people. I'll
No,
tell you that.
I watched a lot. Hard man to police here at American Red Devils, but I've watched a lot of pressers. Is top four a trophy? No. And are you going to contend for the league next year? Yes. That's what I want from him in that presser, right? Are those controversial takes?
Who cares? Yeah, yes, they are.
To say we're gonna contend
First
for
of all,
the
he
league?
didn't. He said like it's an achievement, it's important, but we're not satisfied. So he actually is like the season's not over. We got everything to play for.
I know
We're going for the
caveats,
FA Cup final, and then are we contenders next season? Well, it fucking depends. Are we gonna get a striker, or are we gonna have Wout Weghorst on the bench? Are we gonna have Tony Martial as your number 9? Like it's true, bro. We're not winning shit unless we
No,
have
but
a serious
people
summer
should
of ins
be-
and outs.
If you ask anyone
Just give
from,
the man, you like, I've never seen, like, give him the benefit of the doubt.
of course he
He's
got the benefit of the doubt.
It's like,
He's
you're
done
like,
it-
oh, we only got 40 wins because we played a lot of games. You have to win games in order to advance in cups and get an opportunity to win 40 games.
The
So
presser
it's like,
is a game.
Give the man,
I'm asking him.
give the man a break.
I'll give him. What did I say? He's done an amazing job. He's like the best
But-
manager post Ferguson. The presser's about mind games, and you gotta set. There is like a time to say we need to contend, and it is like if you finish third, and you win a trophy, it's like the only thing you can improve is winning the league or winning like the Champions League, right? Aren't you trying to? It's like when you ask Arsenal fans, are they going to contend next year? They're nervous to say yes. It's like, you got to say yes. There's only one thing to do.
We weren't top of the league for 240 days. We like the highest we got, I think, second, and that was for a hot
You
second.
need to set unrealistic expectations for yourself.
Sir, we have won the EFL Cup and finished in Champions League. We haven't even finished in third yet, right? So there's 2 teams ahead of us by a lot. We got knocked out of the Europa League. We got a pretty thin squad. We got an aging squad. We got a lot of work to do.
Okay, so do you think we should
We have
contend
an
next year?
unclear transfer situation because of the ownership deal. We don't even know who's going to own this club come end of transfer window. So, like, yeah, Numpty John wants to hear we're going to win it all. Dude, if we don't get a good summer out, we're not winning shit in terms of like the
I
big
understand
stuff,
that,
big
but
stuff.
the goal should be to contend.
Yeah, he said, "Are you winning?" Yeah,
He's like, "Are you
Who
going to
cares,
contend?"
bro?
The answer is
We
like,
don't need to diagnose the press
yes,
conference.
we're going to contend. I want him to say yes. We're going to contend.
Why?
For
So
the
he
title.
he can blow your expectations? Like, sir, it depends on the summer.
Do you not think that next year the goal is to contend for the title?
That's not the question. Do you think we will? The goal is, of course, to contend, but like it's not going to be up to him to a certain extent because if we have a bad window, which we probably will, because every time we've ever not finished in the top 4, they spent money, and then subsequently finished in the top 4, they spend no money that following summer. So right now, the Glazers
I
own
understand.
Manchester
It just
United,
seems like-
and their track record is going to spend like $70 million this season, get in. I don't even know. Mason Mount, bro. Are you kidding me? We'll get into that a little later. Let's talk about Fulham, sir.
No, I agree. All I'm saying is that it'd be like you could say it and then the ownership not deliver what you need to do it. I agree, but it's almost like we do need, like, as a fan base, sans the
yourself.
Glazers, we should
tell
be
yourself.
trying to compete.
Of course, we should be.
Yes.
We should be doing a
Manchester
lot.
United compete
We should have been
every year.
competing for the last
We
decade,
should
given how much
compete.
money we
laughed
spent.
at Arsenal,
but we've
who
lit money on
celebrated top
fire.
4. We need to be competing like having a first year. This is a great season. Building on you need to build on it next
What we
year.
should be doing and what we will be doing are 2 distinct things. So it's like, yeah, we should be, but like, who owns this club? Who's the director of football? Who's the CEO? Who's technical director? Who's the number 1 striker?
Johnny Murtaugh, baby,
It's
let's
like,
go.
dude, you have numpties everywhere, and you have people that shouldn't even be at the club anymore, i.e. Martial, and it's like, he's going to do the best he can, bro. He's a great manager. He needs time, and he needs money, and he needs resources, and a lot of it's going to be not up to him, because right now, you still have, like, the CEO who was sweating with fans last summer, literally having beers, looked like he was out of his element, and you know what? Based on how the transfer summer went, we got some good players in, but the prices we paid, how long it took, that fits the bill based on him like sweating out in that little parklet wherever he was in England. Not a good look. That's who's running this club.
No, I definitely understand the headwinds that we face. I'm just saying you like to give some cannon fodder to the Muppets with the presser being set in the throne. It's a press conference. It's just a game. Speaking of games, we got next match, Manchester United versus Fulham, Old Trafford, Sunday, May 28th, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. You'll love this kickoff time here. Lifetime versus Fulham, 54. We've won, drawn 20, lost 14. First time we played them, 1905, Manchester United versus Fulham. We drew 2-2 in the FA Cup. Last 5, we've won 4, drawn 1. Fulham coming into this, they got battered by City, lost to the Scouse Bastards, beat up Leicester City, who's going down, beat up Southampton, who's going down. They drew Crystal Palace 2-2. Crystal Palace is a little tricky. They're coming in. They're frisky. We play them in the FA Cup. They did get the best of us at home. Are you nervous about Fulham, given how we played against Chelsea? I think they're going to be better than Chelsea. As shocking as that sounds to say, Mitrovic, he's a dog. He's going to show up to play. They got Williams on their team. They got the American Robinson at left back. So it's going to be a tricky game. I could see it being a draw, but regardless, we need the full 3 to get third place. I really think we need to be trying to finish in third. I think it's all about setting the tone for next season. Third place finish, pushing up the table. That's how we want to feel as a United fan base, regardless of our ownership.
They did not get the best of us in the FA Cup because obviously we were going to the final and they didn't even make it to the semifinals. But I know what you mean. They were well and truly in that game. Then they had the red cards, and they were a team that were flying high when we were flying high. They have definitely slowed down. They've gotten some injuries. Ream got injured. Mitrovic was out for a while. They're not quite as frisky as they were a couple months ago, but they will be tough. They're going to want to finish strong.
Polina, that
Polina's
midfielder.
a player.
Whew.
He's very good. They also have Our boy Andreas Pereira, he got injured. He's had a really great year for Fulham. One of my favorite non-United teams. I love going to Craven Cottage in London. Great part of London. Can't wait to see their new West End. But I agree with you. I think it's all about third. I think we want to be like, we're a better team than Newcastle, Bonesaw FC, beat them in the EFL Cup and best them in the EPL. I think that matters because you want to be the best of the rest. It's like we know who the top two teams are. You want to be the next dog in the hunt. So we are challenging for the title next year. If all things go well, sir, if we have a good window, we can.
We did beat City this season. Everyone remember that. We did beat them.
Controversially.
And we're going to play in the FA Cup. I'm feeling confident. going in the FA Cup. I'm confident, baby. You need that delusions of grandeur. That helps a little bit. Injuries. This is kind of dragging us down. Man, we wish we had the Butcher back for the FA Cup final. Not so much Donny van de Beek. Sabitzer down, Heaton out, and then Antony went down with that ankle. Sorry to see that one. But like you said, we have options in attack, and I think rotating our attack, which has gotten a little stale. The Sancho, Antony, Martial wasn't really delivering, despite the minutes that got. Given these injuries, what is your starting 11?
I'm going to freshen up a little bit. It's obviously going to be De Gea and net. I'm going to do Delo, Lindelof, Maguire, Malacia. I'm going to do McFred with a Bruno on top, and I'm going to do Marcus up front, Garnacho on the left, Facundo on the right. He's not going to do that. He's probably going to play Wout because I don't know why.
He's not playing Wout.
He might play Wout. I was happy he didn't get played against Chelsea, but we need to rotate. We also, some players need a rest. Like Eriksson needed a rest. He was not at his best.
Rest.
He's been... So we had 2 games off. I mean, we had 2 days off, short break between Thursday and Sunday. And, you don't need a win. You want to win. And we have a big game the following week. Some players, you want to keep getting minutes. I feel like right now, based on the way Casemiro's playing, play him more because I want to keep up his form in advance of the Cup final because he's looking shockingly good. So
No, we have a week off. So it's you got to keep... I think you're playing players to get a look at who you want to start. And
but Varane, you don't want to play with 2 days rest. Probably you don't want to chance him.
No, you don't. No,
right? Shaw, you're not going to play because he got a back injury. So you got to make sure you can get him for the FA Cup final because he's a key player. Eriksson's not going to play, I would think. Right? Fred probably needs minutes because Fred should be starting against City. We should be playing Fred in the midfield and breaking up play if we want to hang in that game for as long as possible. So I would be playing Fred to get him some minutes in advance of a start the following weekend down in London. But that's just me. What do you have in your 11, sir?
At Wembley, we're going back. We're the famous Man United. We're going to Wembley. I would say Dave saves in net. You got Delo. I'm going Lindelof. I hate Maguire, so you got to put Varane, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno, Casemiro, Fred. Then I'm going to give you some Rashford, some Garnacho, and Sancho on top. But, we got to get over the line. I think you're right. Given the tight turnaround, we're going to see more rotation than we want. And, what do we got, sir, for the odds? Booking the bookies.
United's the heavy favorites, minus 180, plus 340 for the draw, and plus 460 for Fulham on the road. Sir, given the odds, what is your score prediction?
Oh, sir, this has to be 2-1 United. Third place, baby.
Yeah, 1-0. I think United get another clean sheet, get third place, big confidence boost headed into the true last game of the season on the 3rd of June, sir. Let's get into some news.
United in the news. I'm excited for that FA Cup final. I'm feeling excited. I'm not some low energy United fan that thinks it's afraid of City. I'm ready to go, baby. We're gonna fight to the death, son. I don't care. I'm pumped about it. We got our chance to play spoilers. Pressure's on them with the treble and all that. Pep Guardiola is a nut job. I'm ready to go. I can't wait. Can't wait for the FA Cup final. Absolutely buzzing we're in it. Let's get another trophy, right?
Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Everything to play for. We want to stop them getting in trouble. I don't really care about the trouble because no one gives a shit about Man City. Are no fans.
Yeah, we ain't gonna give up.
Even the players. I didn't say we're gonna give up. I'm just saying backs against the wall. We're playing a hell of a team, but they don't care. The fans don't care in terms of the City fans.
They're soft, you know that.
Dude, they don't have a fabric of a fan network. There's nobody there, and you could tell the players. It takes a little joy out of them winning shit quote unquote trying to go for the best team ever when, like, you know what, they're not that into it because they can just tell they play for a shadow club, money front effectively. But I'm excited. Never count Manchester United out in an FA Cup final. We've done it before. We have stopped the trouble. We did it in 77 against the Scouse Bastards, a team that were better than United. We're going to be playing a team that's better than United, but in a final, anything can happen. This team, big game players, we need our big game players to step up.
Casemiro,
Bruno, Varane, Rashi. Let's go. Big game. Can't wait. De Gea, he's going to be fucking busy. I'll tell you what, if he has a good game, we're in it. If Casemiro has a good game, Bruno, Rashford, we got a shot.
it's either we're either gonna win or we're gonna just get destroyed. But there's the problem is there's just like
It's like
no,
2-1 United or like 4-1
there's like no
there's no middle ground.
no middle ground.
Because you give them an inch. You give them 1 fucking inch, they'll just be dunking goals, bro. You know they do that dink, they like that far post dink, and
I
people
know.
just slam it in. There's nobody there all the time.
I'll tell you, the first 10 minutes you're gonna know how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Anyway, what's going on?
Sale update, final bids due. Glazers delaying the announcement again. It's gonna take longer than you want, more twists and turns than you want. Not any news to any American Red Devils fans because we talk about it all the time. And boy, are we gearing up for the transfer Muppetry. It's almost like with City locking up the title, all these journos and agents and everyone trolling is like, well, you know, everything's kind of calmed down. What's the most ridiculous transfer rumor we can start?
Neymar.
That's Neymar to Manchester United. I'm good.
Yep.
I'm set. I'm good on Neymar. Neymar would be like Paul Pogba 3.0. You know, it'd be like, how many of these players can we sign? Overpaid, doesn't want to work hard. You know, these
Bad
type of
injury
guys.
record.
Like, I think we're good.
He's got a bad about it. He's better than Pogba, but injury record's terrible. Ego
just
problem. We don't want
ego.
we don't want Neymar, bro. We don't need a, he's
Too
old.
much money,
He's old.
you know, the
that would be
whole-
like a very quintessential Ed Woodward signing. So Ed Woodward's probably still running the show at the end of the day, or Ed Woodward light. But yeah, but you know, a story that did have some legs, sir, is like a player that I don't rate, I don't want, but there's a lot of talk, especially from tier ones. Ornstein reporting that Manchester United are into, can you believe it, Mason Mount, 24-year-old Chelsea attacking midfielder with 1 season left in his contract. And here's the funniest part. Chelsea want £80 million for Mason Mount. I'm good. I'm telling you what, we buy Mason Mount for anything more than 35 million pounds, we ain't winning shit next year, bro. Important shit. We might win another EFL Cup, but like Mason Mount ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, I've never gotten the hype around Mason Mount. It seems like he gets a lot of time for England. He gets a lot of time for Chelsea, and I really haven't. I mean, he's had his moments. I want to say like an FA Cup or something like that. But I just never really saw why he always felt like the English player who got the hype, and just because he was English, and I just never understood it.
Yeah. Like a Southgate guy who gets tons of minutes when like
but he
Madison's
doesn't do
at a
anything with
sniff.
it. You know, everyone's like Mason Mount. I'm like, you guys just like him because he's English, and the Chelsea fans are like extremely biased. But like Conor Gallagher looks way better than Mason Mount, in my opinion. Like I see the hype around him for sure when he was at Crystal Palace. Like I've never seen Mason Mount go on loan to a bad team in the EPL and like run the show for a season. Then you're like, okay, he's a dog. I don't see it. This is just good and cheap. If you were to swap him for Maguire straight up, fine. Right. Give him a shot. Like if you can get a good deal and get him in,
deal.
and
it's all about the deal.
Get a punt. Like okay, fine. But why are we so focused on attacking midfielders? You have Eriksen, you have Bruno.
Because you need an upgrade at Eriksen. Because
You
like,
do
you saw
need
it
a- but, like,
you saw
we-
it against Chelsea. Like he gets run through, and
I
also
agree, but like, who was the player who went down and we had no one to put behind him? It's Casemiro. You got to make a
that's what we
call on McTominay. You got to make a call on Fred. CDM box to box. This is the issue. This is what you need. You need a Casieta. You want to play in the EPL. You look at Partey on Arsenal. Casemiro can do it. He can't do it the entire season. You need someone, an understudy, a young player with the energy coming up in the game. If you have Casemiro, if you have Eriksen, Bruno, and Mason Mount, and you don't have another Casemiro, I think you're in a much more unbalanced situation. I agree with you on Eriksen. He hasn't had a good end to this season. He was injured, though. So, you know, like Sancho could play that. There's other players who can
Sancho can play 10. He showed that a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
bit yesterday.
So
He
it's
looked
like you have 2.5 attacking midfielders. Getting another one is like, we need the box-to-box CDM, and it could be McTominay, it could be Fred, but in my opinion, you got to pick one of those, and then you got to get a new one in, because United just needs new blood. We need new young blood coming up in the game.
Yeah, and for a price tag like we're talking about, because they're mentioning a big fucking number, you got to go for Casiedo, right? Like younger. I think he's a much better player. He's got that dog mentality. He should be on our team anyway, right? With any competency in front office, like we would have signed him for £5 million. That would be that. He wouldn't have gotten as many minutes, but like this is the problem with Manchester United. It's like we're never signing the signing before they go to Brighton. We're waiting until they go to Brighton, and then all of a sudden they're a $100 million player because shit. We would take. I've been watching a lot of Brighton. We watched them at the Emirates, so I would take half their starting 11 we could use in some capacity. Both their midfielders, their left back, their left winger Matoma. So we just need to be a little bit more astute and then not be like left to sign in Mason Mount, because they're gonna justify some stupid price tag, because like he has the England hype. He has like the hype of these players that like get so many minutes from Southgate, and you know what? Like, can they do it in Italy? Can they do it in the Champions League? Every time we've seen him play, he's like, I see him like missing chances. That's what I remember at Mason Mount. Him like missing like big chances, then making that face like, oh. So I'm pretty good on Mason Mount. Obviously, I trust Erik ten Hag. I think that he likes him because he works hard, allegedly.
I think that we're making the same mistake as we've always made as a Manchester United organization, mainly because the Glazers is Erik ten Hag, great manager, not a great director of football. At the end of the day, like why does my
Signing's
manager
pretty good?
Like, we just don't need to automatically blindly defend every decision he makes.
I'm
but
not
the whole
just
point
saying.
is that Manchester United would be better off with a world-class director of football, building talent over the long term, managing all the contracts, Fred, McTominay, all these situations, while the manager focuses on getting the team playing the best football possible. Because like Frankie de Jong probably wouldn't have been the best signing. We end up getting Casemiro. It turns out to be great. Anthony, not so great. So like manager, like look at LVG, look at Mourinho, look at all these managers come in. They all get to make the transfers, and it just hurts United. We've been through this. We burned through over $1 billion, and you look at our noisy neighbors. They're doing it the right way, and that's why I think you need the balance between manager sometimes getting his guys, and then the director of football sometimes getting his guys, and it just provides checks and balances, so it's not all one way. And I feel like a Mason Mount, that is a high risk transfer, and we have other needs, right? So I think a director of football just provides balance to the manager, and I feel bad for Ten Hag if he's the only one calling the deals. It's hard to do that and coach this team. It's not realistic for someone to do two jobs.
That's why other football clubs that know what they're doing, that win shit consistently, even Pep, who runs the show and tells them exactly who to sign, they still have a DOF, a top DOF who executes the transfers, and we have neither. We have like Erik ten Hag. I'm fine with him running the show to a certain extent. He should have a big influence, but you should have like an astute front office executing transfers in a timely manner, selling players, getting rid of that dead wood, because we got a shit ton of dead wood, especially all these players come back from loan who need to be sold. And we have like all manager running the show, which is not that bad, but it's like you have John Murtaugh and Richard Arnold. Those guys are numpties. They are numpties that shouldn't even be working in the front office at an EPL club. They should be like hanging out in League One. Those guys are bums.
No, absolutely. But let's all be honest, like where United is. So, obviously my comment on United wanting to, the manager saying, hey, we got a challenge for the league. That's just hype. That's just fodder for the fans. But where we actually are is like, we need 3 strikers. We need another right back. We need 3 midfielders. We need, winger. We need another right player to play on the right wing. We need probably another player to play on the left wing, if we're being honest, because Rashford probably should go to number 9. Garnacho should have some competition. Like, our squad needs like so many players to come through that it's unrealistic for this next season. So, could we do enough to be able to compete and contend? I think so. Can we do enough to win? I don't think so, because you just need more depth. Once you go in the Champions League, it's just like you're going into deeper water, and our squad really isn't there. Like, we really have not even a starting 11, I would argue. We're barely getting to a full 11. Arsenal have the full 11. They don't have the bench. City have it all. And so you have to be honest, like where we stand from a summer window perspective, and also where the sale process and how that's just going to just destroy any ground we're going to try to make up. So to all the caveats that you made earlier, I agree. I just think you need to have some little hype coming out of that presser.
I don't know. You just want a reason to slate our boy, bro. You know what the deal is. You know who run the club. You know who the owners are. It's not up to him to a certain extent. He's going to do everything he can. But if we're day late, dollar short in the transfer window, we ain't winning no title. And like you said, we're not winning a title anyway because we don't even have the squad, let alone the squad depth. If you can get the squad and get lucky with injuries, right? Like Leicester did, they never went down with injuries. They also didn't have Europe to worry about yet. And then go on a miraculous run. Now, it won't be as much of an upset as a Leicester side winning when they did, but we're going to need competency and luck to have a shot at it next year. And even then, dude, it's a long season. There's a lot of cup games. There's a lot of games. There's international bullshit. We're years away from it. We're years away from it if it's done right. And if it's not done right, we might never get there.
You need Tony Martial would be on this team next year. He'll be on this team.
No one's buying Tony Martial, bro.
He'll be on it will be Martial, Rashford, and insert another player here. We also have to talk about contract extensions, right? Delo, what do you think about extending Delo? There was an article about giving Delo an extension. Is he the guy? Do we need another new guy? I think we're going to extend Delo because it's good and cheap. AWB and Delo for another season, that's not moving us forward, in my opinion. What do you think?
I mean, I would be selling Delo. I think that AWB is the far superior player. I think he's shown that. I think he's getting better every game. I thought he was terrific against Chelsea defensively. He's elite. Attacking, he can't cross, but he has that really good pace, that breakdown pace. He puts in a great diagonal ball across the box. I think he's the player to keep. I think maybe you re-up Delo and then sell him, but I would be selling Delo because I just don't think he's good enough a defender for the EPL, and I don't think he's that good of an attacker, right? Yeah, he's better than AWB, but he's not that good.
Jump into fan questions at Glazers Out FC. Love that Twitter handle. Top 4 and the Carabao Cup, LOL. If we can add an FA Cup to our accomplishments, I would say we did pretty damn well this year. It'll give the lads a ton of confidence going into next season. Huge game still ahead and lots of work to do in the summer. Totally agree. At AB_man99, a very weak Chelsea side that might have been a banana skin for us, but Super Frank came through. I can't wait to hear the Champions League song on the pod again. We tried to rep that as much as possible. At BreadFan18, we are a strange team, so poor at times, but could have smashed them 8-1 in the end. We didn't bottle top 4, play that angelic music on the pod. At you, Bosun, jobs off, hats off, job done, hats off after an impressive first season from Ten Hag. Before the season, I wouldn't have bet on this team to make top 6. A great birthday present from the team. Happy birthday to you, at you, Bosun. At Ant6C, that feeling when that Champions League anthem plays midweek next season, just glad they wrapped it up a week before the FA Cup final. Now they can rest key players. What a relief. All the fans around the world enjoying it. Play the Champions League theme. Rest easy, and let's gear up for that FA Cup final. That's it, sir. If you like the podcast, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/America Red Devils, AmericaRedDevils.store for any America Devils merch. Check out our website as well, AmericaRedDevils.com. Appreciate all the fans. What a season. It feels like it's 9 seasons in 1. I can't believe we started the season with the Ronaldo drama.
Jesus
Christ. Feels so long. These seasons are incredibly long. So
the World
shout
Cup.
out to all the amazing. There was a World Cup. We went to the World Cup, got COVID, the whole 9 yards. Man, what a year it's been. But we'll break down Fulham, the FA Cup, then we'll do our season recap. It's been an amazing season. Shout out to all the America Red Devil fans around the world.
A summer break. We got to do a little summer break after we do the breakdown of season.
Pod never sleeps. Alex always wants a week off. I don't give it to him. We do the pod every week.
Definitely a week off.
Definitely a week off. Pod never sleeps, sir. We got a lot of news, a lot of transfer
news. You know my code to my garage, sir. So let yourself
Pod never sleeps.
Yeah, I was kind of yelling at Ten Hag. Why did he say we're going to win the league next year? Top 10 cities last 7 days. Number 1, how you doing? Los Angeles, California, New York, Chicago, Illinois, Melbourne, Australia, Dallas, Texas, San Francisco, California, Philadelphia, PA, Miami, Florida, Brooklyn, New York, and last but not least, Atlanta, Georgia. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do without you. Always darkest the dawn. Big end of the
Top 4, baby.
Top 4, Champions League. Fulham on Sunday, last game of the EPL season. What a season it's been. Appreciate all of y'all. all season long. Here we go, baby. United Calypso, enjoy your week.
What a team.